what is the godly way of dating? Because I feel like a lot of people, marriage is really all out there, radio stations, marriage talk. But what about the dating talk? Does people not talk about dating?
When it comes to actual dating, like a serious courtship, it would be my self-navigation, like finding out. Like,
Yeah. It was scary though, but yes.
What do you think would be like the, like, I don't want to say right way because, like I said, we all have our different opinions, but what would you think is the way of, like, as example, like myself and Cameron, what would the way be that you would want us to date?
I think for me, everybody involved, be transparent, let us know truthfully what the intentions are.
Like, okay,
As
when
an
you say
example,
intentions,
you know what, this is we're just friends.
And then let it be just
And,
friends.
and that's fine, I have no issue with that. Don't let me walk in and then you're all uncomfortable because you don't know what to do with your hands because your hands or your mouth was
Mouth?
in the mouth, on mouth, face mouth thing, and now you're uncomfortable.
But I'm expecting friends.
Mouth,
Yeah.
face, mouth.
So I'm saying,
Because my mouth will be open, ready to talk.
face mouth. My face mouth.
Welcome to Hot Talks.
Guess who's back?
Welcome back to another episode of H.O.T.
We obtain knowledge in areas of ignorance.
Wow,
Yes.
it's nice to be back
Yes.
once again.
Awesome.
It's nice to be full again. Yeah.
what?
First time in a long time.
Quad.
It's really, this is actually the first time for the year.
What?
First time for season 2. And did you know that we actually started a new season?
Oh,
Did you know
yes.
Don't think they did.
that? I don't think that in you.
I just thought we.
No, I did. Season 2.
Thank you so much for clicking once again. We truly appreciate you showing your constant support. All our Spotify listeners, we have consistent listeners every single
Yes.
week or every time we post. And we're just grateful to God for this opportunity that He's given us to have this platform to proclaim the good news of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we're going to speak about a topic that I feel like you might not have asked for, but it's something you must have like,
No
thought
games?
about. No.
No.
Before we know, there will be a game.
Okay.
Because I knew Mom is going to be on the pod, so she's
I'm
going to
about
want
the games.
a game.
She wanna think
So-
everything's fun.
Yeah, so we're doing the game. But
Look, I wish like it was like that in real life.
Facts. Just off this
Not
pod,
for the pod.
then
That's what I mean.
there's
For
no
the pod
games.
is like fun and games, but
real life, completely different person. Anyway, so what we're going to do is the game has a lot to do with the topic we're going to talk about.
I know, why can't I respond?
no, don't risk nothing. It's hot.
Okay, so the game has a lot to do with what the actual topic is about. So this is going to give you a bit of a teaser for what we're going to speak about. But
We don't even know.
I am going to give you, nobody knows here. The only person I briefed is Cameron. And he told me he doesn't want to know. He wants to find it on the pod. So I was like, okay. So it's a surprise to everyone. I'm the only one with the answers. So, yeah.
Cringe. Don't ever do that
The
again.
type of environment you thrive in that.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to give you a few list of statements. No? And you are going to tell me whether it is old school, whether it's the old school type of dating or whether it is the modernized type of dating. Okay? So I'm going to give you an example. A man must always ask a woman on a landline and ask her father's permission before taking her out. So is that an example of modernized, dating, or is that a type
I think
of
landline gave it away, so I would say that's old school.
where the man or the boyfriend must ask the father permission before taking
Asking
someone?
or asking via landline?
Don't take note of the landline. Take
Okay,
note of the
thank you.
permission.
Because this one is so technical.
Take note of the permission. Asking the father for permission.
I think that it's, I would say it was back in the years I was growing up, I think it is also just very fitting that it's something that carries over, because I think it's just respectful.
Mommy,
It's
is
not
it
part of the
an-
game.
Is it an
It's not part of the
example
game.
of
It's not
modern dating
motiveer jou antwoord. It's just a
or
yes or
old
no.
school? Yes, yes.
I would say old school, but very much
Okay.
my
Thank you, that's all we need.
Thanks.
Okay, old
Now,
My
please
school.
vote the
Okay.
answer. Old school.
Then
Does
explain.
Does everybody agree?
Yes.
100%.
You are correct. Okay. It's normal to text.
Is it the answers or is it the answer?
No, it's the answer.
It's the
Relax.
answer, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Texting for months before meeting in person.
Modernized.
school.
Modernized.
That's new school.
Modern day. Next question. Don't leave the discussion open. You're gonna.
Yeah, that's the worst mistake for Candy. Okay.
I don't know
If-
why we need to chat so long. Okay, anyway.
If they don't respond within 5 minutes, they're probably ignoring you.
Modernized.
Modern.
Dating should always be with marriage in mind.
That is old school. Modern doesn't think that way.
I don't think so. Old school. Old school is ratchet. Old school was ratchet.
We dated for thinking marriage in advance.
Okay.
Or maybe I did.
I don't know about that. I don't think.
Okay,
I think it's neither
okay.
or. Trick question.
You have to look at that. Could be either or.
Okay? A gentleman should always pick up his date at the door and then meet the family first.
It's definitely old school.
Old school, but it's my school.
Old school or modern school?
Modern.
Modern school. Modern?
Old school?
Thanks.
Old school.
Old school.
Old school. You're right. You should move in together before marriage to test compatibility.
New school.
That school has
The
become
best school.
That is that existent school. But anyway, that's probably
Modern
new
school.
No, modern, you're right.
And old school.
Last one.
People just does it very openly today.
What happened in the
Okay. So it did happen, but it was very
Rare.
rare and hidden away?
hidden
Yeah.
away, I was going to say. Okay, last one. If a guy doesn't ask a girl's father for permission to date, it's disrespectful.
Yeah,
True.
old school. No, that's not the answer. It's A or B. There's no C. It's
So if he doesn't
old
ask, if he
school,
doesn't
new
ask the
school.
father, then
He's disrespectful. Is that old school or new school?
old school.
Okay.
Old school.
Okay. So as you know by now, we will speak about the topic. Old school dating versus modern day dating. And what is the godly way of dating? Because I feel like a lot of people, marriage is really, all out there, radio stations, marriage talk. But what about the dating talk? Does people not talk about dating? And it's a very open discussion, especially in our family where we are able to speak openly to our parents. And that's why I actually wanted them on the pod today, was for them to share their insights of what they're sharing with us. Because I feel like when I speak to a few friends of mine, or if I speak to people our age, dating is not really a topic in the household. So they are finding their way through dating and things like that. And we're creating the platform for you guys to hear my parents' perspective and then hear our perspective from what we see, from what our friends do, what our people do at school and things like that. And we can
And then we
share
see what God is saying about it.
100%. 100%. So, first of all, defining old age and modern dating. Old age dating often has clear roles, slow progression, and parental involvement. No?
Old
Okay.
school, yes.
Yeah, that's old school.
Okay.
Where modern dating leans more towards independence and less formality.
Okay.
Where the guy's not, as an example, the guy's not coming to the door and asking for the father's permission. He's rather hooting outside and reffing his car, which Dad is quite aware of because that's what he did to my mom.
And then he was nipped. As he did, it was nipped.
So that is the different types of...
Why
you
does it
stop?
seem like we're unconscious then?
Can you please stop?
What am I doing?
Please.
Okay, so that's basically the two
That
types.
happens. This happens. This is the outcome. If they're not on a leash. that's modern day marriage. Because
So-
if she was old school, she would have known the place. She would have asked people permission, may I speak?
We know Candy's not about that life.
So that is
Not to
basically...
make quiet.
That is basically...
You guys know yesterday she will not be made.
I will not,
Sorry,
as
sorry.
long as I'm breathing, I'll not be made quiet.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks.
So that's basically what we're going to be speaking about today. So we're going to be asking, myself and Cameron will be asking whatever comes to mind, certain things. But we do have a bit of the program here. Not program, but protocol.
Just let Candace know there's all parameters.
Yes. And also to ensure that we don't offend anybody. We know that offense isn't given but it's taken. So if you are getting offended by this, then unfortunately,
You
that's
need to
really
deal.
not our problem.
That's not my problem.
It's not my
And it's
problem,
serious. I'm
unfortunately.
not even joking. It's not a problem. It is a perspective.
And it's
It
an
is
opinion.
opinion. And that's the thing is, this is our podcast. We share
Yeah.
only our opinion and we listen
That's
to
how we do it. You can
But-
take it, you don't have to take
it.
it.
And again, if you disagree, please let us know that you disagree. But it's not a matter of you changing what it's.
And we won't be cross if you disagree.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Really. But thank you for sharing your thoughts. We really appreciate it. But never mind.
So, obviously, every household has its different rules. One of our rules for dating will be, or is,
Don't date ever.
no.
I'm just joking. No, you don't get excited.
That only applies to you, my love.
No. Don't date until it's finished with school.
Yeah, that's one of the rules we.
Which means
have.
is, ladies,
He's done with school now.
I'm
You
just
guys should shoot
joking.
your shot. I'm joking.
vergeet van die hond, pas op voor die vrouw.
So, but that's our type of rules. So we understand that each household has its different rules. But what does the Bible say? And yes, we do know that the Bible specifically doesn't speak about or use the term dating. But in certain scenarios, I feel like we can kind of put our minds there of how things were done. And obviously the Bible also followed old school ways of doing things. So I feel like we need to have a mixture of both. You know,
Yeah.
we shouldn't be only focusing on the tradition of the man will come to the door and ask for permission. I'm not saying that is wrong. I would actually prefer that so that my parents are aware of the person I'm in relationship with. And don't look at me like that, Daddy, because I will, not fortunately, be in a relationship and obviously get married, get kids and stuff,
It's something that you have to deal.
and stuff like that. So,
Cameron's there already. You were saying?
yeah. Okay, so we're going to ask a few questions today. We're not going to beat around the bush too much. We're actually not going to beat around the bush at all. We're going to say things straight out.
Straight,
This is our
straight.
talks. We're humble, open, and transparent. Okay, so how did dating work when you guys were younger? And what was expected from both men and women at the time?
Dating wasn't something that was discussed in my home. It was something that they wanted to avoid discussing. So I can't say that what the rules were. However, I had planned in my mind what the rules were or should be for me. And so I had encouraged guys who was interested in me, they wanted to take me out on a date to ask my mother. So that is something I had actually introduced for myself. Whether my brother did it and whether my sister had her boyfriends do it, I don't know. But for me, I had wanted that, and that is what I had communicated.
I think during
Craig, did you take Craig?
my era, it was more a matter of, I think, more similar to mommy. It's not a matter of they didn't want to speak about it. It was more just a matter of, like, you deciding, okay, right now I'm 16, I'm legal. And then you navigate it. It's like you guys know what to do. You will leave comments in the air and see if the parents respond. What is the response? As an example, Candice is like, she looked nice today. She's very cute, hey. If she puts in effort, then she actually looks good.
I thought I was the only girlfriend.
And then what I'm
Yeah.
trying to articulate is that society usually dictates. And your peers and who your friends are, and it's those things. So you say, no, I'm dating thingy and you 12.
So crazy. Matrix these days.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So it was as a matter for when it comes to actual dating, like a serious courtship. It would be at my self-navigation, like finding out, like.
Yeah. It was scary though, but yes.
Yeah, so basically with that, what do you think would be like I don't want to say right way, because like I said, we all have our different opinions, but what would you think is the way of, like, as example, like myself and Cameron, what would the way be that you would want us to date? As an example, I'm gonna lay a few examples down. can we see our significant other every day? As example, every day they come over. Okay, I wouldn't want to see my boyfriend so much. I want to actually give myself time to actually miss him. I wouldn't want to be in his face like all the time. But yeah,
No,
what
you
kind of
can't,
stuff?
you can't,
Okay,
he and
wait.
her can't come every
Wait,
day.
sorry.
Hold on.
I'm not even done painting the
Sorry,
picture.
Ken.
Okay, coming every day, coming over making food for you, for the family.
You don't know what cook in this house, eh?
What other stuff do they do nowadays? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Just
Look,
switch on the
and again,
TV.
we're laughing not because it's funny to us. We were laughing because we know how we are.
Yeah,
So
yo,
understand,
my
we're not-
mom will
if-
kill
if-
me.
If
Oh my
someone
And we know how
is-
mad our
if the-
parents
if the-
are.
If someone is watching this and that's allowed for you, or you allow it in your home, it's not funny because we're laughing at you. We're
Yeah.
laughing at because we know ourselves.
family.
We know our
Know our mother.
dynamic.
Our mother.
Especially our mother.
Not fam, mother. We know our
So we know
mother.
our
Honey,
dynamic.
they're throwing me on the bus.
So
She's very
I-
territorial.
Honey, they're throwing me on the bus.
That's true. That's true. Look here, but so I think for me, everybody involved, be transparent. Let us know truthfully what the intentions are.
Like, okay,
As
when
an
you say
example,
intentions,
you know what? This is we just friends.
And then let it be just
And,
friends.
and that's fine. I have no issue with that. But then
you can't be.
don't, as an example, and we talk, don't let me walk in and then you're all uncomfortable because you don't know what to do with your hands because your hands or your mouth was the-
Mouth?
in the mouth on mouth face mouth thing, and now you're uncomfortable.
Because I'm expecting friends.
Mouth
Yeah.
face mouth.
So I'm saying,
Because my mouth will be open, ready to talk.
Face mouth. My face mouth.
so understand that and one of the expectations for me would be that, like, look, we were friends, and it has now escalated to us developing feelings towards one another, and we now, and I would want to know, well, what does it entail? So now, Dad, we keep hands, we hold hands sometime, we hug, or whatever.
And we mouth against mouth.
Mouth-to-mouth action.
That only happens for me at engagement stage, my friend.
Kiss.
Yeah.
No.
Engagement.
Okay, we can discuss it. That's
My
a little
Lord.
off air. But so what I'm trying to tell you is exactly for me. I don't know for you. One of the things, transparency. Let me know where you're at and what
I'm
your
on
intentions
that as well. Be open about it because you can't actually beat around the bush with me. You know that.
Okay, but I can ask to say something
No,
quickly.
but
You
it's
done?
my turn to talk. So give my turn.
Parameters.
Give my parameter turn to talk. So yes, be open about what the intentions are, and if it is the friends, then we know what things friends does. Friends are not singled out only me and you. It's a matter of we group if we are friends, right? When it comes to dating, and you maybe you like the person and you want to get to know the person with an intention to pursue a relationship, then it should be something that is discussed and communicated. But even so, it is not only singled out to only be you and the person. You still need to find yourself in a group,
Accountability.
maximum of the time, and then you can have singled out moments that is just you guys spending time going out alone.
To a public place.
To a public place. But like the Bible speaks about how does a young person keep itself pure. And we know what that means. Pure means not having sex when you're not married.
Whoa.
And we weren't spoken to in so much words by our parents because those years we weren't so liberal to be able to have this open conversations. And so many things happened in the stilte and in donkerte, you know, which could have been avoided had we had open conversations with our parents and them having open conversations with their parents and, you know, that type of thing. So with that said, is in order to avoid having to tamper with the line that you're going to cross over to make you impure, you don't find yourself in exclusive places where you're alone.
Come on.
And that is why I'm saying to keep you and the person accountable before the Lord. Find yourself in a community where there's other people. And I believe that is something that needs to be expressed. Because when you are in the dating stage, you're getting to know someone, you're busy with an interview. You're not in a contract yet. You are busy with an interview, so you ask questions. You will find out these things you might not like about the person the longer you're having an interview. Then committing yourself and then find yourself having to have awkward conversations. So now we're already acting as though we're married, but now we have to have harsh conversations that places a matter of awkwardness where I have to say, it's not you, it's me. You deserve better than me. I cannot give what you want. Those are the conversations you should be having when we're dating. And I just believe that is something that one can openly speak and stop kicking me under the table. But those are the conversations one can have. Do you have time? Oh, that's the kind of conversation that we can have openly, where you can ask me, why am I saying that? Mom, why are you saying that? And then we can have a two-way conversation, rather than have an awkward conversation where I have to call you in because you've now violated privileges that we've given you as parents by doing things you know we would not have approved or God didn't approve.
And dating is one of the things that I don't want to say children, but sons and daughters can't necessarily follow parents can't lead by an example, because
We don't know
in the correct sequence of things, children comes way after dating, or not way after, but I mean after dating. So there's no way that we can demonstrate dating to you. We can demonstrate what marriage should look like to you, but parents cannot demonstrate dating to you. So it is it's basically something that's communicated.
Yes.
And it cannot be modeled.
Yes.
You understand? So it becomes tricky. And again, we need to understand that Mary and Joseph, they were in a courtship. But again, in those days, those were arranged marriages. So parents
decided.
Parents would decide. So whoever Cameron likes,
whose tribe is the person from?
So, yeah.
That type of thing was so important.
You couldn't mix. So it was Jews only.
Yes.
If you look at in the Bible, so it's different.
The thing about Jacob also, Jacob having to work for Laban, it was that where Jacob had to work for the father. He had to prove himself that he could look after Laban's daughter. And yes, Laban had deceptive reasons of why he made Jacob work for him all the time. But at the end of the day, it was that where you can see, will my daughter's well-being be great in this man's hands? Will she be taken care of? Will she be respected? And so hence, the man would work for the father if they want the daughter. And you know what Laban did? Made him work for nothing for the one that he wanted, but he got the other sister.
Squint one. So...
You see how he cuts me off all the time? Is this around? Parameters?
I didn't cut you off. I'm saying...
You see, you need to interview long, so you know what tendencies they have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then when you have the dating discussion, like I said, it cannot be modeled. It is something that you have to, it's communicated.
So something that's counseled.
For sure. And each one different, because again, young people, parents, you know your kid. You know what they're able to handle. You know what they're able to do. You know what they're able to, you know what it entails to have a relationship. Is your son ready to have a relationship? Is your daughter ready to take on the responsibility of having a relationship? And again, relationship doesn't mean be accountable to, because I don't believe that he should know or she should know your coming and goings and whatever the case may be.
Definitely not.
It's not a matter of checking in or having access to
hot
tracking
now,
your phone or whatever.
We gotta go there.
So understand, it is all those things that you are exposed to that we did not have.
Yeah.
Tracking phones is crazy.
So where were you? Why are you only coming from youth at this hour?
Why didn't you answer your phone?
Why didn't you answer your phone? Why? So it's all those things. I texted you.
DM'd.
I DM'd you an hour ago. Why only responding now? Why did you blue tick me? It's all those questions that becomes managed, that needs to be managed while dating, that we did not have.
Which is
so again, it is difficult for us to model to you. If as parents, this is very important to understand and to move with the times.
We need
the line of communications. It is very important that we do that, because now you don't know what they get up to, because you don't know what they're exposed to. You don't know what the dating requires today, because you live in the Stone Age where it was still BBM and SMS and
phone okay.
It is important
and tapping the phone
because when you start talking to your child about dating, they have to be on par with what they are exposed to.
Gaan 'n bietjie op TikTok. See what
They
the
say
youngsters
shoot is
are
shoot.
watching.
I think Michael Todd said something like, if you don't give your child the liberty to come to you saying that they are cooking, they're going to bake the cake somewhere else. Buy someone else. That sounded much better in my head.
All the vocabulary that the young people use today doesn't make sense. Like what is this? Cap. Cap means lies. For me, cap means cap on my end. You know. But I mean, these things are important because I had always told myself that I want to create a space for my children where they can come to me, and they do. I'm not saying that there aren't things that they don't come to me with that I'm unaware of. Because I do know that there's certain things that they wouldn't come to me with because everyone has the entitlement to their privacy in terms of their thoughts. But I do believe my kids are very open, by the grace of God, open to speak. And I mean, we speak genuine, open things. Did you kiss? Where did you kiss?
Oh my word.
How do
You
you
know?
kiss?
I didn't even know you can kiss.
Face.
So
Mouth?
Open mouth, closed mouth.
So I think it's very important that we are not oblivious to the fact that the opposite sex has attraction, and the Bible speaks about opposite sex having attraction. Because the Bible, the Word of God teaches us that He made man and woman to multiply in facets, in children, in ideas, in marriage, where they grow together and multiply within themselves, within the covenant. So I believe all things come from God. And that is one of it, that God had created relationships, you know, because it's not good for man to be alone. You know, you often get men that their wives will die, and then they're entitled to get married again, and vice versa. Women can be entitled to get married if their husband dies, because until death do us part. Men always, most of the time, get married again. We females will live without the husband till the day she dies. Because again, we females just see, and I have to be shown time first. It gets me nervous.
Thank you so much.
Women always sees marriage as a lot of work that they put into, because they put the work in for lasting. Where men really mature late in the years in marriage of why they actually married. I think that is why men are easily jumping into the project. Rather than women say, you know what, I gave my all from the get-go.
And it is exactly that. And I feel like there's a lot of children that is watching, or people watching today, that don't have the relationship with their parents where they can genuinely ask, am I doing dating right, if I could say? Like, what is it? Is there certain things I'm doing? Am I overcommitting myself? Am I taking up the role of a spouse when I'm actually just supposed to be a girlfriend?
Am I with a boy because I'm looking for a daddy instead of dating? Let's just go that way, because that was my path.
100%. And with that being said, we're going to end off this.
In the next episode, we'll discuss
we will
further.
Continue.
Amen.
This. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Until next time.
All the good stuff.
Peace out.
Yes.